Are you ready to tap into the power of the new moon? I'll show you a step-by-step guide to creating a crystal grid to set new moon intentions, release limiting beliefs, or manifest. I'll explain why these specific crystals work and give you plenty of options to make this easier. Plus, there's a free crystal grid template to help you get started, so stick around. Hi, I'm Ethan Lazzarini, and I'm the author of 4 crystal healing books, including the Amazon best-selling book series, Crystal Grid's Power. The new moon usually happens about once a month, and it initiates the waxing moon cycle. It's seen as a new cycle beginning in astrology, and you could see this as the gradual building of energy, kind of like a seed growing in the dark earth. If you think about your manifestations, they all begin as a thought or an idea conceived in your mind. You can harness the power of the new moon in different ways, and it's a supportive time for things such as leaving the past behind you, to plan new projects, set new intentions, start new habits, develop positive beliefs, and even manifesting something new. And around this time, people like to perform new moon rituals. And this will look different for different people, so it could involve a little ceremony, writing down your intentions, saying mantras or affirmations. Some people like to use this moon phase to make and activate crystal grids. And the grid I will show you is used to further anchor the energy of your intentions and the lunar energies of the coming month. And these are not just any crystals that you have lying around. Try to be intentional. The key is to work with crystals that hold lunar energy and to help amplify your intentions. So more on this in a minute. And firstly, if you don't already have a reason to create a new moon crystal grid, think about your intentions now. You could focus on things you want to release to move forward, or you could focus on a new project or a mindset that you want to adopt, or something you want to manifest. And this crystal grid can be set up for one or more intentions. You could include beliefs or things that you want to let go of, and new beliefs that you want to adopt. And you might want to limit yourself to maybe 3 things to avoid overwhelm, but some people will do up to 10 or more intentions every month. And you can write these down on a square piece of paper, and this will be part of your crystal grid. And my new moon crystal grid uses the seed of life symbol, and this looks similar and is often confused with the flower of life. It has less circles and more focused and specific meanings. We're using this sacred geometry symbol because it represents and holds the energy completely resonating with the new moon phase. Like a seed, it supports new beginnings and personal growth. I'm using this crystal grid base today, and don't worry if you don't have this or a crystal grid cloth, because I will be giving you a download link to get a printable Seed of Life crystal grid template. This crystal grid is from my latest book, Crystal Grid's Power 2. My new moon crystal grid uses 13 crystals, and 13 is a lunar energy number that relates to the cycles of the moon. So because there are 13 lunar months in a year, here's what crystals you will need and why you need them. So you'll need 1 medium or large sized satin spar, also known as selenite, and this crystal is useful because it helps clear away negative energy that is no longer serving you, or anything that is no longer serving you. And it also carries a lot of lunar energy. It's named after the Greek goddess of the moon, Selene. And I am using this spiral tower, sometimes called a unicorn's horn, but you could use any shape for this. But the ones I would recommend, if you can get them, are a simple crystal point carved, an egg, a pyramid, a sphere would work well as well, and also there's raw carved towers that you've probably seen as well. And if satin spar selenite is unavailable, you could also use a desert rose, tourmalinated quartz, or snow quartz, which is basically milky quartz or any white quartz. And if you can't find any of those, you can always substitute this crystal with a clear quartz crystal. Next, you're going to need 3 moonstones. So these could be tumble stones like this, or you could use another shape if you have it. So moonstone is the cardinal stone of the moon. it supports new beginnings as well. And if you don't have any white moonstone, or you can use any kind of coloured moonstone here, this one is a bit peachy. Moonstone can be substituted with celestite, black moonstone, or merlinite. And merlinite is in dendritic chalcedony or dendritic agate. You'll also need 3 labradorites, and I am using tumblestones. Labradorite is a stone of transformation, and also it can be substituted with chrysoprase, malachite, or serpentine. Next, you'll need 3 smoky quartz crystal points. Smoky quartz clears bad vibes and also helps you release negative thought patterns. So these crystals can be substituted with black tourmaline, Tibetan black quartz, which is what I'm showing you now, and you could also use snowflake obsidian. Next, you're going to need 3 clear quartz crystal points. Clear quartz further amplifies your intentions and brings clarity and focus to your grids and intentions. So we are using a natural point here, but you could also use a cut and polished point. And these are kind of essential for the grid, so there's no substitute. You need to have clear quartz points. And the benefit of a point is it will help focus and beam your energies, your intentions out into the universe. And if you can't find a Seed of Life crystal grid base or cloth, then you can always print one out. And I have a free printable crystal grid template for you to download and print if you want it. And you don't need to sign up for anything for this. Just click the link below or in the description to download this PDF file, and you can print it out on some paper, but card is even better. Here's a tip: so if you want, you could also help by, if you're printing it out, you could trace the symbol with a silver pen for added lunar energy. This is just a suggestion to enhance the energy. Sacred scent can help create an environment that supports your intentions. Camphor is associated with the new moon and helps cleanse negative energy. You could use a drop of natural camphor essential oil like this in an oil burner or a diffuser just before you begin or while you're setting up your crystal grid. Alternatively, you could burn some natural camphor incense if you can find it. I know in some countries it's easier to find than others. Side note, camphor is pretty intense, so open the window and make sure there are no animals or children anywhere near the room when you use camphor. If you found this video to be helpful so far, could you please give it a thumbs up, and this will just help others find this video so they can benefit too, so thank you. And if you already know how to activate crystal grids, you can use whatever method you prefer. Otherwise, to keep things really simple today, I'm going to show you a super simple and easy way to activate a crystal grid that doesn't involve using a crystal wand. An activation is programming or charging the crystals with your intentions so they can begin to do their work for you. Before you begin, make sure that you have written on a small piece of square paper a list of your new moon intentions or affirmations, and you could use a silver pen if you've got one. As it's part of your new moon ritual, I recommend that you read these out loud, maybe 3 times. Then fold the paper. As this is it's going to be used as part of your crystal grid. You could read these affirmations a few times or make a copy of them. And then you fold the paper in half once this way, and then again this way, so that you've got a square, and you're going to use this in your crystal grid. First, make sure you cleanse all your crystals before you use them in a crystal grid. You can cleanse your crystals in any way that you prefer, though I will just point out that the satin spar selenite is not safe in water, so dry cleansing methods are best. And I'm using these sandalwood incense cones today. And before we begin, it's a good time to perhaps read through your intentions and remind yourself of why you're doing this. Try to get really clear on your intentions and commit to them. If you can, hold all your cleansed crystals in your hands. If not, just work in batches. Close your eyes and try to take 3 deep breaths before you begin to clear your mind and relax. And then once you've done that, Raise your crystals up either in front of your third eye, which is your brow area, or today we're going to be using our heart chakra. So in front of your heart chakra like this, and then focus on your desired intentions and feel them and tap into the emotion. And if you can use visualization, that will also help as well. And say to yourself out loud a statement of your intentions. Something like this will help with the support and the power of this new moon. May this crystal grid assist me with my new moon intentions. Now that your crystals are cleansed and charged with your intention, all you have to do is arrange them. So begin with your folded note, your statement of your intentions, your new moon intentions in the center. Then take your selenite satin spar crystal, center stone, over the top of that. Next, take your moonstones and arrange them into a triangle around these petals near the middle. Take your free labradorite and form another triangle, which is a reverse triangle around that. Next, take your free clear quartz crystal points and put them around the edge here, pointing outwards. Lastly, your smoky quartz points also around the edge. And if you can't get smoky quartz points, you could use tumbles as long as those clear quartz points are in there. Your crystal grid is now complete and activated and supporting you with your new moon intentions. Before I get to what you do next after you've activated your grid, if you're new, please subscribe for more crystal healing videos like this, and also I do oracle and tarot card readings. How long do you leave your crystal grid up for? Some people will leave these up until the next new moon. Others will even take it down on the full moon. And you could also keep it going by reactivating it on each new moon with any ongoing manifestation or project work or goals that you're working on. And it's completely up to you. And new moon intentions are not just some one-off event. Remember that rituals work through repetition. Developing new habits and manifesting sometimes takes time. It's helpful to see a new moon crystal grid more like a spiritual practice that synchronizes your energy with the supportive cycles of the moon. Once a month, review your intentions. This helps remind you and helps you refocus if you need to. If you're interested in working with the zodiac signs that the new moon occurs in, there is a new moon crystal grid in my book, Crystal Grids Power 2, which actually is customized for all 12 signs of the zodiac, changing those crystals to align with each zodiac sign. There's also a full moon grid, regular like this, and there's also a zodiac version of the full moon grid in here. In fact, there's a whole chapter just on astrological based crystal grids, if that is something that interests you. After you've finished with your crystal grid and want to take it down, you should deactivate it. And I've included a link to a blog post on how to deactivate your crystal grid in the description if you don't know how to do this. If you have any questions about this crystal grid, pop them into the comments below and I'll try to get back to you. And I do plan on showing you my full moon crystal grid as well. And once that is done in the future, it will be added to the end of the video, depending when you watch this. And I've added links to all my crystal grids in the description below this video if you're interested in going deeper with me. And check out all the videos appearing on screen now, and let's continue this journey.